You've got to find a way to establish disproportionate success. And sometimes that doesn't require ginormous change. It's just small tactical adjustments that make all the difference in the world.
Let's go, Brandon.
Hey.
Let's go, Brandon.
Hey.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey.
Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
You know what they say.
Hello, everyone. It's Joel Davis with United Medical Transportation Providers Group. You are the broker.com and Home Care Access. My pronouns are still slim, sexy, because I self-identify as a 21-year-old Olympic athlete, and boom, nailed it, down to 218, 6'4", 218 pounds. I absolutely love my diet because I still get to eat whatever I want, when I want, do whatever I want, and it's all about what I self-identify as. So I self-identify as 218 pounds today, living the dream, loving it. Appreciate all the emails and support from so many of you, sending your messages of encouragement to go for the gold, supporting my Olympic identification and dreams and aspirations. Some of you and your suggestions, even Rich from Jersey suggested I go into sumo wrestling, but I can't anymore because I'm no longer the fat man. I am a Olympic athlete, and you know, all your guys' outpouring of love and support emails are awesome, and puts a lot of pressure on me. But this Olympic athlete, you know, that's why I'm in this fight, because I can handle it. I'm a very disciplined, dedicated person. And if God forbid they try to deny me entering the Olympics as a male athlete, I am fully prepared to put it all on the line, work my ever-loving balls off to transition and identify as female so I can go after, boom, the woman's gold. So whatever I got to do. So if I got to work my balls off to get that woman's gold, then that's what I'm going to do. So thank you all for your love and support. So speaking of which, being proud, let me pull over for a minute because I'm going to read a great email. Great email that came in yesterday from our man, the myth, the legend, the Terry. Terry, you are straight up punking me, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Some of you will remember Terry. I've mentioned Terry in some of his emails. I've shared them in the past. Terry is straight up punking me, making me look like a little bitch. Because I always said, like, people would ask, like, well, why'd you sell your business? I'm like, listen, the goal was to make money, sell it at a multiple. And I openly tell people, look, man, I'm not going to be 75 years old transporting an 85-year-old person. It's not going to happen. Well, Terry, my hardworking dude, is 74. 74, working hard, slinging hash, making cash, and I need you to sell your business sooner rather than later, Terry, because I can't have you absolutely destroying my story. So I told people I didn't want to be 75 transporting 85 because you're about to do it. But you're making this 21-year-old Olympic athlete look bad. So, but let me pull over real quick here. I'm going to read Terry's email. It's short and awesome, to the point. I'm going to have him post it on this video. It says, hi, Joel and most worthy crew. Just a final report on how we're doing from using your great advice. We were Motive Care exclusively. Motive Care, for those of you new to the channel, they are formerly known as Logisticare or Logistocrat. They are the nation's largest and worst broker. They had to change their name to rebrand their business because their brand sucks. So when we were Motive Care exclusively, we had 1 month where we made 10,675 bones. Most months were around 5K. There were months where we only made around $3K for the month. However, we survived through COVID, the scamdemic, and then this happened. For August 2022, by blank, I know what you're thinking as you look at this. This was a captured document from Mar-a-Lago with the FBI raid, and that's why the court had to redact it. No, that's not why. There's a car coming up behind me, so I got to move a little bit. But that's not why we had to redact this. We had to redact some of this to protect our content and info from all the wannabe loon tune, the White Walker advisors who are just cannibalizing our stuff, claiming it as their own, giving the stupidest advice out there, and it's costing people a lot of money and effort. And then when they do finally come to the formerly known fat man, now 21-year-old Olympic athlete who self-identifies as 6'4", 218 pounds, boom, nailing it. Losing weight, goals to get down to 215. Anyways, the reason why we had to redact this stuff is because of the loon tunes. So certain things we just can't put out there anymore. We gotta make sure we protect it and care for our peeps, So let me pick up where I left off. For August 2022, by blank, we grossed 9,438 bones. This was my wife, me, and only one driver. OMG. When I got into NEMT, I was only looking for a few $100 to support our Social Security income. Dude, 74, slinging hash, making cash. You are the man, the myth, the legend. A true pimp player hustler, Terry. Love it. Look at us now. We're in the process of a major contract that could complete in September. This isn't bragging, it's just saying that when possible, by following your advice, saves heartaches and losses and ultimately turns into gold. But I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. One last note, I just blank. Now I know what you're thinking. This email, this document was captured in Mar-a-Lago in the FBI raid. The court had to redact it. No, I had to redact this, like I said, because of all the White Walker advice out there. Oh, man. One last note, I just blank. Following your advice again. Thanks to you and your awesome crew for all your advice over the last 3 years and for what you do for all of us transportation providers. Terry, we love you. You know, everybody, my peeps here speak your praises, so thank you for your awesome emails. I'm so glad that you're continuing to learn from us. But you are a living testament. And I know your goal is to sell your business, but look at the difference. When you got into this gig, you were literally looking to just make a little extra cash to supplement your Social Security, and now you legitimately have a business that we're going to be selling. You've gone from averaging about $5,000 a month to averaging close to this past month 20. Now if we could average that, push a couple of those together, you're in the position, you got enough revenue coming in where we can further grow and scale. You got this contract coming, and now you're going to be in a position to in the future sell, because you got to sell fast, because I cannot have you crushing my story of I didn't want to be 75 years old transporting 85-year-old people, but now you're making me look like a bitch despite the fact that I am a 21-year-old Olympic athlete down to 218 pounds, 6'4". Absolutely love it. So Terry, love it. Kudos to you. Congratulations. We're proud of you. Had a great conversation this weekend. I actually, while I was traveling, I connected two people. One was is a home care. They own their own home care agency. Another one is an NEMT provider. They both traveled together, and we all rendezvoused, met. And it was a good opportunity for both of them because we had our own little private coaching session, and they were able to split the costs, and it was good for them, and they learned a lot, and it was a great opportunity. But our conversations, their conversations also stirred my thoughts and the way I approach certain things. And as many of you know, I'm not that fluffy dude. I'm not that fluffy dude. I'm not gonna be on here slinging that fluff stuff. That's not my gig. If you want that, do that Tony Robbins type stuff. That's not my gig. If you can't literally help people get the green and make money, I don't want the fluffy stuff. I want action tips, action advice, things that we can act on. So, and you got to be able to substantiate it. That's the one thing. I know that people think I'm crazy because I keep trolling these White Walker advisors, but it's like, dude, I've talked about it before. If you are, here's what happened. Let me put things in perspective for you. Terry, he's the man, the myth, the legend. He's 74. He's an anomaly. God bless him. They're quadrupling their revenue without even quadrupling the size of their business. Absolutely phenomenal. Which further underscores it's not just about the overall strategy, it's about the tactics, the small incremental adjustments that you make to increase the profitability of the business. And it's like so these White Walker advisors, and again, I keep harping on them because as we keep working with more and more people, and we see the devastation that's happening and the amount of time, money, and effort that people are wasting, and they think that we're going to be able to wave a magic wand and fix their problem, and we can't. So when you retain our services, yeah, it may cost more, but understand I'm not operating independently. I got a team of people. We do what we do as a team, and I would never be able to do what I do by myself if I was a one-man operation. And even more so, and this underscores a key point, when you listen to these clowns, they're still driving. And here's what happens. I know people bash me. I know people hate me, but I'm going to call it the way it is. Here's what happens. You get up here, you talk all these stories, and oh, this and that, and I'm still driving. You get burned out. If you want to listen to someone who's still driving, and again, I love what Terry's doing, but even Terry will tell you his plan is to sell. Put him in a position to sell. When you listen to these guys who are still driving, they're telling you how fabulous this industry is. Look, I'm going to be abundantly clear. I've mentioned this in other videos. I am not married to the NEMT business. I am not married to the home care industry. I am not married to the broker business. If the minute it doesn't make money, I'm out. Boom. If I'm a transportation provider and I'm driving, the minute I don't make money, I'm out. If I'm manufacturing widgets, the minute those widgets no longer make money, I'm out. And it's hard. It's hard because you become emotionally attached to, involved in your business. Things change sometimes through no fault of your own. None of us can control the fuel prices. A lot of you loon tunes, you vote for the lunacy, and then you complain about gas prices. Come on, man. You knew it was coming, but you voted for it anyway, so you got that buyer's remorse now. But regardless, those are variables that we, as the business owners, we can't control. So sometimes you go out of business through no fault of your own because you can't control certain variables. Can you adjust your business, tweak your business? Absolutely. But ultimately, there's certain things that are out of your control. So in a situation like that, the minute that business, regardless of industry, is no longer viable or profitable, boom, I'm out. I don't care. And I know that's a little bit of a struggle, and some people have to literally work with that emotional aspect, but it's something that's got to be dealt with nonetheless. So at the end of the day, these White Walker advisors who are just, they're taking time out to write their books, do the speaking engagements, which, yeah, I do that too, but guess what? I'm not driving. You know, it's like some other people in my videos have talked about. If I want to be a multimillionaire, I want to learn from a multimillionaire. So, I mean, it's just reality. So if I want to learn how to build, grow, and scale, am I going to listen to someone who's still out there slinging that hash on, and has to sling that hash to make it? And that is my problem. Some of the advice is absolute foolishness, but if they're still driving themselves, here's what happens. They ultimately get burned out. people who are getting on here telling everybody, oh, this is a great industry, and it is. And they tell legitimate, true stories. You feel good about yourself. You get to go pick up Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith may or may not have family. Even if she does, they may have forgotten her. They don't see her that often. So you get to go out and legitimately help her, and you feel good about yourself. It's all true. I can't tell you how many people, I would build good relationships with back in my transportation business. And I mean, how many countless funerals that I went to over the years that I own my business, how many times we sent flowers and condolences. I mean, it goes hand in hand. It's the glove in hand with the business. But ultimately, I always knew if I'm driving, I lose. If I'm driving, I lose. Bottom line. So that's why it's even more, I'm more hypersensitive to the whole, these people who get out here and tell you how awesome and glamorous, and even in the home care industry too. Some of these people start their home care agency and they are a caregiver. Well, again, if you're literally spending your time rendering care to clients, it's very difficult for you to grow and scale. It's very difficult if you actually serve as a caregiver. I've talked about before in previous videos, I have multiple client providers who've not only bought and sold their home care agency once, and now they're in the second business. I actually have two people who are now on their third business, because it's a process of duplication. Trust me, they may have started out as a nurse and a caregiver, but in order to grow and scale, you can't be doing that 1-to-1 ratio. I can't be doing 1-to-1 ratio if I'm driving. That 1-to-1 ratio, I'm offering care as a caregiver in my home care agency. That's no longer an option. If you want to grow and scale, you can't be 1-to-1. It's basic. Everyone knows this. But the problem is people get entrapped and they get caught in the weeds. So despite all the fluffy talk, oh, get into this business, go start your business with a used vehicle. I started my NEMT business with $1,000. No, you didn't. I guarantee you didn't turn to success. You could go get a used vehicle and start with go get a used vehicle for $3,500. No, you can't. That is the most foolish thing you could possibly do. What I would encourage you to do, this is as much fluffy talk as I can give. This is as much fluffy talk because I'm not a fluffy talker guy. I can't do the fluff stuff. This is as fluffy as I can possibly get. Spend some time. Here's my fluff. Spend some time. Literally think about, envision, ask yourself, what's important to you? Again, this is the Joel Davis fluffy talk. I'm not a fluffy talk guy. Win one for the Gipper. That's not my gig. I'm more of in your face and tell you you're effing up. But what do you want? What's important to you? Me? What's important to me? Being with my wife, being with my kids. God's blessed me, made great money, doing great things. That's all awesome. But all that is a quote-unquote vehicle to help me do what I do. Spend as much time as possible with my kids, be with my wife, my family, come and go as I please, do whatever I want. That's the goal. Bottom line. Now, let me start to bring all these things together. The White Walker advisors, if you're driving for yourself and you don't have a legitimate trajectory that gets you out from behind there to be able to start to grow and scale and legitimately make real money. Terry's driving right now at the age of 74. This old school OG gangster thug pimp hustler who we love, admire, respect, and are proud of. He's literally quadrupled his business. You saw the email. Now, granted, I had to redact it because you were confused. You thought it was part of an FBI document that was taken from Mar-a-Lago. It was redacted by the courts. No, it wasn't. We had to redact it because of the White Walker advisors. Don't you guys love my redundancies? I keep hammering in. Love it. Absolutely love it. I know so many of you guys hate it, like you hate me, but I just absolutely love it. But anyways, don't worry. Craig from Cali, I'm not going down. I'm not doing the politics. Like Paula always says.
Forget his political views and all that. If you can get
just
past
get
that,
past
man.
my politics. So don't worry. When I bring up the Mar-a-Lago raid, FBI raid, redactions, no worry. I'm not bringing up politics, Craig. But anyways, getting back on point. These people who talk about how awesome it is. You get to transport Mrs. Smith. And they're still driving. They're still driving. Or the people who, I've owned 3 NEMT businesses. Well, what happened to the other 3? Now, if you sold them all for multiples, some of you, and I know you're running your mouth, and you didn't sell them. You didn't sell them at a multiple. You know you went out of business for multiple reasons, and I'm not going to air out your dirty laundry, but you know what you did. If you don't live it and breathe it yourself, and you didn't stack those chips, are you being honest? Just asking. I'm asking questions. Not trying to air out anyone's dirty laundry, just asking questions. You personally, like the people who I met with this week, you legitimately got to decide what's important. So, do you feel good about yourself? With your NEMT business, you're legitimately helping Mrs. Smith? Of course you do. Absolutely. All legit. If you own your home care agency and you are taking care of Mrs. Smith, do you feel good about yourself? Absolutely. And you should. You are legitimately rendering quality service. Now, I'm not down with the fake and phonies and the frauds trying to suggest make $10,000 a month off a single client. Unless you're literally raiding their bank account like the FBI did Mar-a-Lago. Oh, Craig, I'm not getting political, Craig. But unless you're doing something illegal, there's no way you're making $10,000 a month off a single client. It's not possible. It doesn't happen. So again, consider the source of who you're listening to. But again, let me get back on point. These people sing all they do is sing the praises on the upside of the industry, and it's good. It's cool. You can make real money if you're tactically sound. Look what Terry's doing, making even minor adjustments. The type of business he goes after, how not only different sources, but how he does it tactically. Quadruples monthly revenue without even increasing size. Absolutely phenomenal. Now, Terry's still driving himself, I know. But now he's in a position, he has the margin to now grow and scale. And his goal, he'll tell you, is to sell. And then that's his swan song, so he can legitimately have retirement. And go retire and fish and be with his grandkids. You got to determine, back to my fluffy talk, you got to determine what the goal is. What do you envision and what do you want? If you don't do this properly, you are going to quickly find, let me be absolutely clear, and this is probably the most important point that I'm going to make. If you don't do it properly, you are going to find yourself in a quagmire. And once you're in that quagmire and you're the rat on that rabbit wheel, just going round and round and round, you are going to get burned out. You are going to get burned out. That's why all these fake and phonies and the frauds who are talking about how awesome they are and everything they're doing, they started their business on a couple bucks, less than $1,000. Build $1 million business on less than $1,000. No, you can't. No, you can't. Go get a used vehicle for $3,500. No, that foolish, one of the stupidest things you could do. You're going to waste that money. No, you can't. These people are going to get burned out. They're going to talk about, we get to when they call, we go answer. And I agree. When I started out, I tell everybody for those first 2 years, man, I was slinging hash. If I got a call at 3 in the morning, I was going to get it. I would do those garbage runs because, man, I got into so many different places. But you can't do that perpetually. Again, if I drive, I lose. I can, in the short term, sure. Multiple years, sure. I mean, years go by like this. Come on. Think if some of you with kids, think of how quickly they grow. One second they're in diapers, next thing you're sending them off to college, you're beating up boyfriends and girlfriends. Man, they grow quick. So, you have to have a clear plan, sound strategy, effective tactics that are going to let you to pull off what Terry's doing, increase the margins without having to the more you can disproportionately, this is a very important point, the more you can disproportionately tip the balance, the leverage in your favor. If Terry was averaging $5,000 a month before, sometimes 3, and now he has disproportionately tipped the balance, tipped the favor, the leverage to quadrupling in size, and still only operating with 3 drivers, he, his wife, and another driver. That's disproportionate. He's gone from 3, averaging 3-5 grand, to now 20. That's quadrupling. That's disproportionate success right there. You've got to find a way to establish disproportionate success. And sometimes that doesn't require ginormous change. It's just small tactical adjustments that make all the difference in the world. So, going back to, Joel, you're a rambler. I know, and I absolutely love it. What do you want? Do you want to stay on that wheel? There's no get rich quick. All these people are going out there singing all this fluffy talk and how awesome it is being the caregiver. Oh, I'm a caregiver myself. My home care agency, and I'm a caregiver. And we started 5 years ago. You started 5 years ago, and you're still serving as a caregiver? Your business model is all sorts of jacked up. Sorry, Betty. You started 5 years ago, you're still a caregiver, your business model is all sorts of jacked up. You started 5 years ago, and you're still driving? Sorry, Ralph. Your business model is all sorts of jacked up. What do you envision? What do you want out of life? I want to spend time with my kids, my grandkids. Well, how are you going to do that if on Sunday Mrs. Smith calls and they need you to go drive her to church, drive her to that wedding, drive her to that place? How's that vacation working for you? I mean, how are you going to even handle it? Can you even do vacations? At least in my transportation business, they knew that every September I'm going to Italy. That's just what's going to happen. But I could. I had the staff, I had the infrastructure, the policies, the procedures. We could pull those things off. We could do it. What do you want in life? What do you envision? What type of money do you want to make? How quickly do you want to make it? Who are you listening to? And again, and some of you, I know you'll devour our free content, which is cool. Whatevs. Obviously, we're scaling it way back. We got to do the FBI redactions now. We got to scale it way back to protect what we do. We got to scale it back. It is what it is. That's unfortunately that's where we've come. There's just so much crap. There's so much crap out there, which the good part about it is, I'm going to be honest with you, the good part about it is all of that free crap that's out there is we don't even have to market it. So if we were trying to build and grow, which we're not, because we can't even keep up with, the people we work with now half the time. we're running so far behind now on market analysis, it's hard for us to even keep up. But it's not like we're not like a new business that we even have to market around like that, because so many people find us. Because after, the sad part is that goes hand in hand with that, is after they've wasted all that money and time and effort, then finally, if they've conquered the pride, then they end up enlisting our help and services. And that's the problem. We're glad to help, but the problem is some people literally want us to wave a magic wand, and that's just not possible. I am a 21-year-old Olympic athlete. I'm not Jesus. If I choose to go swimming in the Olympics, hey, I can swim in water, but I'm not Jesus. I can't be walking on that water. And I've talked before in previous videos about some of these horror stories, and I've shared them with you, but it's like, so that's why when we get these great nuggets, these great stories of success from people like Terry. And let me tell you something. Terry's in a communist state. Terry's in a communist state. Terry's in a communist state, so much so that in his communist state, NEMT can't even do stretchers. So the numbers you see with Terry are strictly ambulatory wheelchair. It's crazy. Take communist Cali, communist New York, we're communist states, but at least NEMT providers can do stretchers in our communist states. In Terry's communist state, he can't even do stretchers. So his numbers are even it's even more kudos to Terry because of what he's able to pull off. So it's absolutely phenomenal. So Terry, we love you. I am pulling up to my destination here in about another mile, so I'm gonna start to cut this off now. I know I rambled, but that's what I almost said, the fat man. That's what this 6'4", 21-year-old, 218-pound Olympic athlete does. I ramble. Again, I want to thank you all for your awesome emails of support. Go for the gold, man. We are going to get this. Whether we have to go male or female, it doesn't matter. We're going to get the gold. It's by any means necessary. Whatever's necessary, whatever we have to identify as to get that gold, boom, we're going to nail it. And I appreciate all of your love and support and suggestions and emails and your outpouring. We're going to get this. I'm going to get the gold. I'm doing it for you, man. It's awesome. We're going to get it. So, but Terry, kudos to you. Love you. All of you who watch the videos. I know we have a treasure trove of haters, but I know we also have a lot of people who love and appreciate it. So kudos. We love it. I'm going to call out a couple quick people real quick. Satchel, Ramses, James, Rich, who told me I should be a sumo wrestler. There's a lot of people I'm leaving off. Those of you, pay attention to what Terry mentioned. It's just so absolutely doable. The small tactics we talk about, even Satchel, when we met last week, tactical changes make all the difference. We want to create that disproportionate success in our favor. It's all doable. So hope you all enjoyed. I'll try to shoot another video here soon. When I do, I'll see you at the top.
Let's go, Brandon.
Hey.
Let's go, Brandon.